So, when it comes to hoodoo, goddess spirituality, a lot of black women are going to be super exclusive. Why? Because I notice when it comes to other groups of people and their spiritual practices, it's always rooted in trying to take, trying to extract. Versus when you have a black woman who's going to seek out her own personal spiritual journey, she's going to always be focused on self love, um, learning more about herself, financial achievements, just things like that. And these particular other groups tend to always be focused on trying to take or trying to overshadow. It's rooted in jealousy and envy. And I'd be confused because it's like, how are you a spiritual person, but you're jealous hearted? It doesn't make any sense. And not only that, you feel very comfortable in that energy. It's like it makes you feel like, oh, I'm this dangerous person because no one likes me, or this person feels this way about me. And it's like, no, you're insecure, and you're pathetic. You're like a peasant because you want to be like that, right? So when it comes to black women, we tend to never want anything from other people, especially like when it comes to their spiritual practices, when it comes to their energy. Now, will we engage or acknowledge certain types of spiritual practices like, oh, wow, I really love this from this culture, or oh, wow, this is really cute from that culture, but we won't really get deep into it because we know that it's just not for us. And we feel more comfortable being in our own space, especially with our own ancestors. And this is just me personally. I feel, especially when you're non black, how can you practice anything that is of anything black American when you yourself do not like black American people? You won't be able to practice, right? And then when it comes to the goddess spirituality, how can you call yourself a goddess but you don't like black women? How can you be a black woman and you do not like other black women? Or you're jealous and you're envious of other black women? How can you be a non-black woman and you feel like you even have access to a black woman, to even be in her space, to even see what she's doing, to even be jealous? You understand what I'm saying? So goddess spirituality tends to be focused on itself, right? So when I think about goddesses, I think about the women in my family. I think about my ancestors who are women, my grandmothers, my great grandmother, stuff like that, my mother, right? So I would never seek how to be a goddess from a different type of group of woman, right? Because what I do is going to be focused more specifically on Black American women. So I noticed that a lot of non Black women specifically have a lot of self esteem issues, jealousy and envy, and they will, I would say, how can I say this? They will be more open to a man teaching them spirituality than an actual woman. So when I see, women talking about, oh, girls, girl, and, women empowerment and all of these things, no, they would rather hear it from a man, right? And by me being a masculine woman, I see that if I'm in a space with women, right, this is just with women in general, I notice that they would notice that I'm attractive. But if I tend to be more masculine, then they won't feel this threatened. But as soon as a man come into a space and he may be more drawn to me, then the claws come out, right? Because this happened to me like several years ago. I was in cosmetology school, stuff like that. And my gosh, like the cattiness, you know, and this was just from like multiple groups of types of women. So again, I notice those types of women, they're very misogynistic. They have a history of being emotionally violent, right? And I'm not just talking about women in general, I'm talking about specifically non black women. When we get into the realms of black women being like this, it's always rooted in a man. We know that. But when a non black woman is involved, it's like, ooh, she got a lot of stuff. She's being compared to other women in her family. she's probably being made fun of, or have had that past, in her childhood. She's being compared to other groups of women, right? So it's like they have to contort themselves in order to be seen, right, as a separate group, but also wanting to be around other black women, or be around, black women who is very like magical and very healed and want that energy for themselves. And I'm here to tell you that won't work, especially like I said, if you dislike black women, dark skinned black women, different types of black women, right? It's like, how can you call yourself a goddess? You can't. You really don't like yourself, and you really don't love yourself. A lot of these women will also talk bad about other women who belong to their group to men, just to get a position that they feel that is going to last, and it never really do. So when I see women, right, and they are having a lot of like these bad relationships, they cannot be or exist inside of a relationship with a man and they're happy. That's because most likely they are emotionally violent to other women. So let me say that one more time. Women who deal with extremely poor relationships when it comes to men, or them being inside of relationships with men, they tend to be extremely emotionally violent towards other women, women from their own group, and other women outside of their group. So after they get ran through the ringer, now they want to, all women, let's work together, let's do this. And when it comes to all women, I don't believe in being inclusive, because a lot of these women have proven time and time again, when they're not getting the attention they want from a man, um, they will seek harm when it comes to other women, even if they are feeling like rejected by other women, right? They will seek harm towards those women. So a lot of the time, when it comes to goddess spirituality, the women who feel like they have to exude this energy may feel like they have to be tied down to a man. And that's not necessarily true. And so this is where the cattiness will come from and everything. I think the goddess Aphrodite did this. She was a goddess, but she was also jealous and envious because of a man, right? Or because of another woman's beauty. Again, it's normally tied to a man. And I seen a man who made a video, and he was talking about the dark feminine woman, right? And how, when she loves herself and she can heal herself, most likely a real dark feminine woman is probably going to be a misandrist. She's most likely not, she's most likely will not be even tied to a man, right? Because I know a lot of the divine masculines like to position themselves to, oh, she's going to be with me to help heal me and work on this and that. No, that's false. Now, for those women who want that, yeah, but most likely a real dark feminine woman is most likely is going to be a misandrist. She's not going to even want to be in a man's presence. So